that shit charred. Voodoo like Yu-Gi-Oh, jogging up all night you. Voodoo like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hi there guys, my name is Bill, or Bildo, whatever you want to call me, and I am bringing you Danger, Tri-Brigades. Just something that I've always wanted to give a try, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. So, basically what this deck wants to do is it wants to use the little guys to banish your graveyard, so you can basically shit out all of your necessary link monsters. So, I have 3 Nerval. He is your searcher. When he hits the grave, he gets to add 1 Tri-Brigade monster to your hand. And then they all have an effect where they, like I actually said earlier, banishes the amount of link markers. So I would have to banish 2 Winged Beast, Beast, or Beast Warrior monsters to special summon. I could do Bear Blossom, or I could also do Doll. Doesn't really have a limit there, so you can kind of get around a lot of things. So, 3 Nerval. Karis gets to discard 1 of the 3 typings to special summon itself. Then you can go ahead and do its effect. And they all can do this once per turn. This guy's really cool. Fractal lets you basically... He's basically a Foolish Burial for the deck. And I have 2 of them. But you could always, like, minus... I see a lot of people running Nerval at, like, 2 or 1. So you could, like, maybe take this out to put another one of those there. Because it just refuels your graveyard, so you can just go big or go home, basically. And then I got my Danger Engine over here. It works really well because they discard to special summon themselves, so that just fuels your graveyard even more. I have 2 Thunderbird. They also all have an effect where when they get, they reveal themselves, discard, special summon it, and or discard 1 by random. If it's not the card, special summon it, and then you draw 1. But if Thunderbird gets discarded, target 1 set card, I think. Yeah, just 1 set card on the field, destroy it. It just helps with back row, and maybe your opponent has a monster that's face down, you can't get around. Boom. So I have 2 of those. I also have Bigfoot and Jackalope. Jackalope gets a special summon 1 danger and defense if it's discarded, and then Bigfoot does 1 face up. I think it's only monster. Oh, just 1 face up card. Neat. Then I also have 2 Dogman. Dogman lets you gives your opponent -1000 across the board. So that kind of helps your other monsters to basically try to go for game. And having big beat sticks of Bigfoot and Thunderbird is always nice. So that is all of the Beast, Warriors, Winged Beast, Dangers I run. I also have others such as Mothman. 2 of Mothman lets me, me and my opponent both will draw 1 and then we discard. So it kind of helps reset your opponent's hand a little, and also card draw. And it can proc everything that you need to. I also have 1 Ogopogo, 1 Nessie. Oh, that's all of the dangers. So Nessie, when she gets discarded, you get to she's the searcher, and then Ogopogo just sends 1 danger to the grave, so that can just help get your combo started if you need it in the game. Then for the staples, I have, or staple monsters rather, 1, Alpha King, Alpha the Master of Beasts. Now, he can't be normal summoned or set. He can only be special summoned by this effect. If you have, like let's say if Nerval is on field, or even any of your other regarding typings, he can just special summon himself if the attack of Nerval is less than whatever your opponent controls. Or even your combined 3 typings is less than your opponent's. It's actually a better explanation. And then it gets to target any of your Beast Warrior, Winged Beasts, or Beasts, and special puts them, it targets it, and then return them to hand, and then you non-targeting return your opponent's cards, I think, or is it just monsters? Oh, it does face-up monsters, so that can basically just help reset your hand if needed, and get stuff off the board that you don't need. I run 1 Cyborg of Darkness. This card is really great because it can just get itself on field, even if you... I also have Apex Avian to go with it, because Tribute Summon Apex Avian, if it's in his hand or graveyard, special summon it, and you can just search it off of the Cymorg link, so you can just have it a little early. I can tribute 1 Winged Beast monster. Tribute 1 wind monster, including itself, to negate an activation of spell or traps. And then Apex Avian targets 1 Mist Valley card, or 1 Mist Valley monster, which does include itself, to stop something within a chain. And this is a once per chain effect. I also have 2 TD Crow, because it can just get stuff out of your opponent's grave, and it just fuels your graveyard even more. That is all the monsters. Now for the spells. I have 3 Tri-Brigade Airborne Assault. This card is pretty neat for the deck. You get to target 1 of the 3 regarding typings, and then you get to special summon 1 other typing other than that from your deck in defense position. Their effects are negated for just as long as they're on the field, and also they just can't activate their effects. And then also you are then locked from your extra deck for the remaining of the turn. You can only link summon or get link monsters from your extra deck. Getting that on your opponent's turn, but can basically fuel your field, and then with Strike or Shurag, you just get a banish. I also have 1 Standoff. As long as this card is up on your field, you can only special summon. You can only control Winged Beasts, or Beast Warriors from your extra deck. So it basically locks you down, but I don't think that's much of a problem. I also then you get to tribute 1 from your hand or grave to basically search something else that you need. 1 other typing as well. So if I tribute Nerval, I can search a Beast Warrior or a Beast off of that effect. I also have Dark World Dealings. Discard, and then you just draw 1. It does affect both players, but it just helps stack your deck and get resources out of your opponent. 1 Forbidden Droplet. You tribute from hand or field, and then for every 1 that you tribute, you can target your opponent's monsters, negate their effects, and their half their attack is half for the rest of the turn. But whenever you tribute, like let's say I have 2 Dogman, I could just do that. Monster effects cannot be activated whatever I tribute. So it could be like that, or you could do the standoff, and then you could also do traps rather, and then it'd just be non-stoppable. For the traps, I have 3 Oath, 2 Revolt. For the Tri-Brigade engine, I have Oath can target one of your link monsters. It just special summons a monster that is equal to or less than that attack. It special summons one of the regarding typings with a different type from your hand or grave. Oh, I think that was Airborne Assault's effects. My bad, guys. Yeah, it was Airborne Assault. But yeah, this can just special summon from hand or grave. Whenever it hits the grave, if you control all 3 of the typings, you get to banish. Target one face-up spell or trap card, negate its effects, and then destroy it. So that can basically stop like a Foolish or just something that your opponent could do and could have fun with. I don't like that. And then Oath or Revolt gets to special summon any number of your Winged Beast, or Beast Warriors from Banish or Grave. And then immediately you link summon a Tri-Brigade monster from your extra deck equal to how many that got summoned. Which it is a downer because you kind of have to summon 4 for Shrek. Like you can't do 4 and then keep your Baron Blossom or whatever. It just has to be that too. Similar to Nerval's effect, actually. So yeah, that's what that does. And another thing about Oath is you can activate it and then both times in the same turn, but you just can't activate, like, I'm pretty sure you could do that. You can only use each of once per turn, only once. Okay, so you're gonna activate it once per turn. That's what I thought. I just didn't want to get that wrong. For my other traps, I have 2 Short Dragon's Return, Full Force Virus, and 2 Harpy's Feather Storms. So they like to banish, so it just makes sense to get your materials back and ready to go. And this can also help cheat out ways for your hand traps, which is neat. Full Force Virus, you tribute a 2,000 or less defense Dark type monster, and then your opponent will reveal their hand and whatever they have in hand, and whatever they draw for the next 3 turns, and whatever's on field for the next 3 turns that has 1,500 or less attack or defense. 1,500 or less defense just will be destroyed. I just don't like that. So it kind of helps get rid of hand traps and many of your opponent's key starters, which I find really helpful sometimes. I would like to bump it up to 3 or have an extra one in sideboard, but I'll just have to keep looking for it. And then I have these 2. Whenever you control a Winged Beast, you get to activate this card. You can only activate. Wait, can you activate it? Oh, okay, I see what the other part was. If I had Harpy's Feather Storm, or have Harpy's Feather Duster, and this card is destroyed by my opponent, I get to add the Duster to hand. But what this does, it just negates your opponent's monster effects from activating. Which there are some things that can be running around this because they don't activate, but this stops a lot of your opponents, and it can even blanket out hand traps. For the extra deck, I have 2 Baron Blossom. I don't know how to say Frigid too good, so Frigid Baron Blossom. I have 2 Rugal the Silver Sheller and 1 Shireg. I would like to bump that to 3 or 2 or even 3, but 1 is doing its job just nice. So what Baron Blossom does is once per turn during your main phase, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower Winged Beast, Beast, or Beast Warrior. These all basically limit you for being like controlling, I think. I think it limits you. It does not, but the thing that does limit you, you can only use link materials for the rest of this turn that are Beast, Winged Beast, or Beast Warrior. So that's how that locks you into there. But this deck just doesn't give a shit. So you can do that. And whenever she hits grave, you get to draw a card and then put one from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So you could like do that, get out your Karis or DD Crow, whatever you'd like, on your turn, and then just link summon into Rugal, get the effect to draw, get stuff out of your hand, and then Rugal's cool because on your opponent's turn, during their main phase, special summon one of the 3 typings from hand or graveyard. So it just sets it up. And if Shireg is on field, whenever this gets summoned, or whenever a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast gets special summoned, it gets to non-target banish a card on field. So these two have really great synergy. This is 2300 attack. Whenever it gets hit to the graveyard, your opponent's monsters lose 300 attack for every typing you control. So it kind of can just whittle down your opponent's monsters a little bit. And when Shireg hits grave, she gets to add one of the 3 typings to hand for how many that are actually banished when she gets hit. So that can just like, there has been a game where I've been able to search Apex Avian off of it, so that's just really nice. For the rest of the extra deck, I have 1 Dromedal. It just gets really big and adds stuff for my banish zone or graveyard to hand if it destroys a monster. It's 1500 attack and gains 100 attack for every one I control. And then once per turn, I get to target 1 spell from my side and from my opponent's side, and I just destroy them. There's the Simorgh link I have. I also have Falco for hire, and 2 Holzfigure, the Desperate Doom Eagle. So this basically protects my... It cannot be used for link materials, just like these two. Cannot be used for link materials. But if they're engraved, then you could still use the Nerval's effect to special summon from extra deck because it's special summoning, not link summoning. But Simorgh basically gets to protect your winged beast monsters. This card points to. It just can't be targeted, which can come in handy. And then you get to destroy one other Simorgh card you control to protect it. So you can keep it on field like that with Simorgh of Darkness, but you kind of want that on field just in case your opponent does anything funny. Then also, once per end phase, this gets to search and special summon, or yeah, just special summons a winged beast monster from your extra deck or from your deck for how many other extra spell and trap cards that are on the field. So if there's like 10, then you can just go into your Thunderbird or your Apex Avian or just any of your big birds, you know, but it does come in handy. Whenever ball goes on the field and you destroy a card, you get to draw a card. If it is special summoned, then you get to special summon a for hire monster from your deck in defense, but I'm not playing for hires today. I just use it for card draw, and it's a beast, so you can just use it like that. And then this right here, you get to, once per turn, target a monster your opponent has in their graveyard, and then you get to banish it. And if there is no monsters in your opponent's graveyard, this card gains 2,400 attack. Yeah, 2,400, so it becomes 48, and it's just a really big beater. I do have other things that isn't of the typing, such as Linkuriboh, Nightmare Cerberus. I also have Mekk-Knight, Abramax, and Russeliger. I haven't really got a chance to get out Abramax, but it might come up, and I like to have that blanket protection. Linkuriboh, you know, I do have a couple level 1s in here that like to be in the grave, so Linkuriboh is just a good way to reset zones and get things ready for something I would like. And then it kind of helps your opponent target it or target something lower, so you could just lower it, make its attack to 0. Cerberus can discard whenever it gets link summoned to destroy a special summon monster in your opponent's main monster zones, which that does really nicely. And if it's co-linked, draw a card. That's pretty cool. It also makes your co-linked monsters not destroyed by card effects. And then Abramax, as long as it's link summoned on the field, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, monsters cannot target monsters for attacks, except this one. Once per battle, I get to, if it battles a special summon monster, quick effect, make this card gains attack equal to that monster. So it's basically like a big version of Honest, honestly. Russeliger is really cool. I've got to use it once, and it actually did win me the game. It just gains attack for any link monster in either player's graveyard, and that just happens, and it stays like that. I think. Wait, no. Till the end of this turn, but still, you know, it's basically gonna be like that because you are gonna have some floating link monsters, and it just helps if your opponent has something bigger. It just gains that over, and then once per turn it does that until the end of the turn, actually. But what's really cool is you get to tribute any number of monsters this card points to, and then you non-target destroy the same monsters or the same amount of your opponent's cards. You can only use this once per turn, but that is very helpful. And then for the last thing is an XYZ monster. I have one number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon. Titanic Galaxy? Yes. It's a rank 8. I did have Lancelot in here, but that was back when I didn't have that many level 8s to work with, but this just negates spell and trap cards once per turn by detaching, and that is really helpful. Oh no, it does not detach like that. It just attaches that card. That's what's really good about the card. And then you get to detach, and then you get to protect another XYZ monster from getting attacked, but since it's the only one, that doesn't really come up. I do have some things in my side deck. It is not very organized, so I'm just gonna... But it is one of mostly, so I have an extra DD Crow, Dimensional Barrier, Lost Winds, to basically help lock down my opponent from doing anything. I also have Silent Graveyard. It stops effects from the grave from happening, and it discards, so it just procs your dangers or even Nerval. Pankratops to special summon itself. Another standoff just in case I would like an extra. Regeki. Move up so you guys can see. Blackwing Zephyros. Pay 400. I'm pretty sure it's 400. Yes. Pay 400 to special summon it after it gets special summoned, I think. From grave. You can only do that once per turn. No, once per duel, actually. And it just helps get back on field, so you can try to like link summon that way. I also have Lithogasm, Mind Control, Lava Golem. You're in danger. Is this okay, Dave?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I also have Beast King Barbaros, because I can just normal summon it and then use that to get into number 38 a little easier. And then 1 Mystical Typhoon. There are some cards I would like to increase, but this is just what I'm working with. This is the baby phase, but I'm very proud of the outcome that has come from building this deck. You know, I did my research to see if it was surfacing anywhere, and I don't think it has. I'm sure there's people who's done it, but none that I've seen. But that is my Danger Brigades. I hope you liked. And if you have any suggestions, then feel free to leave me a comment. I would love to see that. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. This is Bildo, signing off.
Like and subscribe to Metagame.
That shit sharp. Voodoo like Yu-Gi-Oh! Joking up all night, you.